Y'all, today is my second appointment with my trichologist. And just in case some of you do not know what a trichologist does, they specialize in thinning hair or the loss of hair. So today is my second appointment, and after my first appointment, I had to send over my blood work information. And this is blood work that I had already had done at my primary care physician's office. So just forwarded her those results, that information. So by now she's had a chance to go over all of my blood work and come up with a treatment plan. So of course my treatment plan is going to be based on those results, which should be quite interesting. So today we're going to go over that information. Excuse me. She'll let me know what my treatment plan is and what products I need to purchase. And then I'm going to get my hair done following that. So I'm excited. So right after that appointment, I have a hair appointment with her. So my trichologist is also my hairstylist, and she's the owner of the salon as well. So I'm excited. I'm holding on to you guys so y'all won't slide off the dashboard. So it's been a minute since I've got my hair done, so I am really excited. Today, 7 days, a week later, 40 and a half hours later, all of my Braidlocs have been removed. So, and there's a video too about that tedious process. Don't know whether or not you'll see that one before you see this one. I don't know. But anywho, just in case that one has already been, if I post that one before this one, then I'll link it here so you can check that out. So, but I'm so excited to go get my hair done today. So we will let's get on in here and hear what she's talking about.
Donna, this is what we've seen. Your results after looking at your scan that we've seen previously in part 1. What we did is that this is going to tell you what your issue is, okay?
Oh, wow.
And we actually have a formulation, and so even when you get your any hair services done, the actual stylist will actually do the same regimen, so that way you will own it. So this is what caused, how it got started. So you had 2 types, okay? So it started out with part 1. So, and sometimes you don't understand or realize, so it starts out with the dead skin. Everybody has dead skin, okay? And we showed on your scans on part 1 where you had the dead skin at. But we can get that off. That is going to be with a deep cleanse or a clarifying. The simple thing like that can get that off.
Okay.
A lot of people just don't know how to get that off. And over time, it actually called a mild case of the Pediatric simplex capitis, which is considered, as we say, dandruff, but it's not really dandruff, it's just dead skin that everybody has. Okay. You had a lot of buildup on that. That's part 1, how it got started.
Okay.
Then over time, when you had lack of protein, when you have lack of protein actually in the hair strand, due to the excess of dead skin over the pore, that was one thing that was working against you. And then the lack of protein has lack of elasticity, and those 2 things start making the hair start shedding off and breaking off.
Wow.
And then when you have some stress factors is everybody have stress, but there's certain parts of your life throughout, so you have to kind of look back throughout the year. With the pandemic, that happens a whole lot. We've seen a whole lot of that. To where stress factors, when your stress levels, you don't even know, but sometimes it becomes normal. So when the stress levels go up, it shifts the blood flow, the pores start closing up because lack of blood is going there.
So part of this is stress as well, emotional.
Emotional stress. So the main thing is sometimes your regular primary physician can do stress tests on you. That's their job. That way they do their part, and then they give you your results back, and it'll show you numbers of the time that you more stressed at. That's their job to do that. Your hair will show certain hairs that cannot take that type of stress. That's when it start closing the pore, because when the stress happens, then the blood flow shifts and it start closing the pore because it's less blood there.
Wow.
So you have 3 things that's going on. A lot of the dead skin that was on there, that's on top of the hair and on top of the pore. That was one layer, and then adding the stress on top of that as part 3, and then when it's lack of protein, that's 3 things that's going against you.
Wow.
And they all can be reversed. The thing is, you just didn't know what caused it to even know how to even resolve it.
Can you tell when it started? Not really, or just
Can't tell. Yeah, because when you come in, sometimes I pretty much ask you like when you start noticing it, because as far as the time frame, your primary physician can do a stress test and can tell you how long your stress has lasted. But it's still hard to pinpoint the very beginning of it.
And you know what I said? It's been several years now, and it probably really started when I lost my mom unexpectedly.
Yeah.
In 2016.
Exactly. Because when things like that happen, and that's why we have this on here, where you see the telogen effluvium. That's what the type of alopecia. So you have 2 types of alopecia, which is one is called PDRI simplex, that's just dead skin. That's a type of alopecia. The second one is telogen effluvium. This has a lot of things, which is actually talking about, I think it should have been on here, it has trauma. Trauma is usually one that causes that lack of proteins on here. But trauma usually is something major that happens to you. That's dealing with the emotional, psychological stress with that. But a lot of times when you do something like that tragic happens, then it doesn't cause the hair to shift too much. It's just when you have other things added to the type of alopecia, what caused it now is too much for the hair. So at that particular time, you might not have had a lot of dead skin on the scalp. So that strikes that out. You might have had a lot of protein in your hair. So we're just having something severe that happened like that, your hair might not have been too much affected. But then over the years, lack of protein start happening. You still had the stress that you probably try to balance you out with that. And then when you had the excessive dandruff, dead skin in there, then you got you can train your body what it wants. Just like we train our body, and you eat a lot of sugar, that body gonna want that sugar when you detox. Same thing, because you train it to want it. So now you just go opposite, exactly. So these are the products that we would definitely be using on your hair, okay? So we will be using Influence Deep Clean Shampoo. That is going to remove the dead skin. Everybody needs to have that, okay? To remove the dead skin. And because you're getting chemicals and things like that, you'll be using a moisturizing shampoo and a moisturizing conditioner, okay? That is the shampoos and conditioner you'll be using. So even if you shampoo your hair at home, those 3 things you need to have. Okay? And then I actually use a rosemary scalp therapy on your scalp. Not really needed for the hair, but we're going to put it on the scalp. That's going to actually stimulate the hair growth. So and this is what start bringing everything into one circle, which is the Obnovit, the minoxidil, and you got the right shampoos that's doing what it's supposed to do with the scalp, and the rosemary scalp therapy. That is your component to get that hair to grow back. Okay? And then we're going to continue to work on, remember we talking about the prenatal vitamins, all the vitamins. Yes, okay? That's all you need to have. That's gonna go into the bloodstream. That's gonna feed that papilla, which is the bulb, and that's gonna continue to keep the hair healthy inside, so we can come out healthy on the outside. Okay? Yep. And then we actually will do your protein. That you will do once a month, but like today, your conditioner will have a protein in it. Okay, so that'll be part 1 today. So that actually gonna go in and strengthen and give the hair the protein that it was lacking. That's why you seen some that was broken in places. That's because of lack of the protein, and that's what causes that to break. Because with the protein, it don't have no elasticity, so it just start limping over.
Let me ask you this, because my sister asked me this, the fact that I took out my micro braid locks. She wanted to know, did you feel like that was causing an issue in my thinning hair? And I said, well, she didn't mention it.
Yeah, because that determines on when I seen your hair, because you had a lot of new growth in there. So with that, it depends on how tight that is done.
Just like with braids.
Exactly.
So micro braid locks and sister locks are fine.
They are fine.
They're not done too tight.
Exactly. And I can tell when we had it, if it was like thin, that means that it's either gonna be either they did them too tiny to where too much new growth and it started thinning out. That means you have to, whoever that does it has to keep a regular maintenance on it so that way it doesn't do that. Or secondly, what will happen to make sure it's talking about the locks is that if it was too long and it recedes, you got to cut some of that length off. Exactly right.
Okay. And see,
so that wasn't the issue right now. Maybe in the past you might have had already cut this in no, but yeah.
It's just that's one reason why I wanted to do it myself because I didn't want it too tight. And even when I would retighten the top, I may do maybe 1 or 2 rotations because I wasn't gonna pull.
So you kept your base thick.
I had control of my hair.
And that makes a difference because sometimes people continue to relock to where the base getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And that's what we see with a lot of locks and sister locks is that their base needs to still stay a healthy state.
And they too tight to where they get a headache, their head be hurting.
Oh yeah, that's already, and it's a headache because you're hitting the nerves and that's dealing with the blood.
Oh my goodness.
So, and that's where people have traction alopecia coming at. But you don't have traction alopecia, no. You would have seen it a long time ago. So that was not your issue at all. Now, majority of my patients that does have locks, that is their issue. And that's because that is a mechanical thing, but over time, that pulling, but that wasn't yours.
So if y'all have them, just don't be, tell your locticians, don't be doing it all the time.
Don't do it all the time, and sometimes they get it too much, and then it shrinks the base how they got started. When they got started, it was full, it was a nice square or a nice circle or a nice diamond shape. And then over time, it started just looking like just a little pencil, and I'm like, no. Now you done redirected how the base is, now you gotta let it grow back out to get a fuller base and start all over.
Just got some color in. Hope y'all can see it because I can't because I don't have my glasses on.
Okay, then, Papa.
She's going on a trip.
Still have your fullness. Still have a curl pattern.
I do. I didn't see it better once I put these glasses on.
Ain't got you out, honey. That's how you gonna be out before 3 o'clock.
What time is it?
2:54.
Oh, see, you don't play. You're the truth.
Yeah, I don't play.
Play me out. Ooh, I'm back, y'all. I'm back. Ooh, wait a minute. Let me get to the mirror so we get that. Look, y'all. See, y'all. Ooh, y'all. Girl. She back, y'all. I'm back. Ooh, yeah, girl. Yes, Lord. Oh, my goodness. My husband is going to fall out. Girl. All right, so I'm back at home now. And I am totally convinced that locks are not for me. I feel like myself now. So I am very pleased with my hair. As you saw, I did get it colored, and I do have some thinning around the edge. So, and a lot of my edges is also where some of my gray was, so she had to bring that color all the way out. And I do have a little bit of staining on my skin, but I feel like that will eventually kind of go away. So I'm good with it. But y'all, I love my hair. I gave it an honest try doing my locks and micro braid locks, but now that I do have, she did texturize it, I'm going to get it done professionally. So I won't be doing any more relaxers in my hair or doing myself or trying to do any type of color. I'm going to leave that to the professional. And I've started my regimen because she actually, part of my regimen she started today when she did my hair. So we'll definitely be starting my regimen today. And try my best to take care of my hair with what I do at home, and also going to a professional. And I'm excited about documenting my hair growth in the areas that I'm experiencing thinning. So, okay. But I just wanted to share this part of my hair journey with you guys. And hopefully something that I shared is helpful, has been helpful. If you are also experiencing, hair loss, hair thinning, maybe you should go see a trichologist and just kind of see if you can figure out what's going on, and perhaps you too can get some type of regimen that will help you. Okay? So thank you guys. Thank y'all for watching and tuning in. Again, for those of you that are a little bothered that I've taken out my locks, hopefully, with the videos that I have posted in almost the past year, will continue to be helpful to you guys, okay? But in the meantime, honey, I'm doing what works for me, and this is definitely what works for me. I can honestly say that locks are not for me, and they're not for everybody. And I am certainly in that category of them not working for everybody. So I'm excited. Alright, so thank you guys so much for watching. I already look forward to you joining me again next time. Bye.